7 Stoic quotes that teach emotional mastery. We live in an age of constant reaction, where one message can ruin your day, where emotions don't wait to be understood, they erupt. We're taught to chase happiness, but not how to handle sadness. We seek motivation, but not how to manage frustration. And most of us were never taught how to befriend silence or how to sit with discomfort without trying to escape it. But centuries ago, before social media, before therapy apps, there were thinkers who quietly studied the storms of the human heart. They weren't perfect. They weren't saints. They were observers, philosophers, warriors of the inner world. They were the Stoics, and to them, emotions were not enemies. They were signals to be understood, not obeyed. They didn't reject feeling, they refined it. They believed that real freedom, real clarity, real peace comes not from controlling the world, but from understanding ourselves. So today, let's journey through 7 Stoic quotes, each from a different voice, each a compass for those moments when your emotions try to take the wheel. This is not a lecture. This is an invitation to sit back, slow down, and remember what wisdom actually sounds like. We begin with Seneca. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. This is one of the simplest yet sharpest truths. Fear often arrives before any real danger. Worry builds castles of anxiety in your mind, castles that crumble as soon as life touches them. Seneca isn't invalidating your emotions, he's revealing their origin. You might lose sleep over a conversation that never happens. You might feel crushed by a failure that hasn't even occurred. But emotional mastery means asking, am I reacting to truth or to a thought? Every time you bring your attention back to the present moment, you reclaim your peace from imagination's trap. And peace was always found here, not there. Next, we meet Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, but even more so, a student of life. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This quote could be a life philosophy on its own. The Stoics believe that suffering doesn't begin with what happens. It begins with how you process what happens. Marcus is pointing you back to the center of control, your inner space. It's easy to think strength comes from influence or results, but real strength comes from how unshaken you remain when the outside doesn't go your way. A missed opportunity, a harsh word, an unexpected delay. Instead of saying, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "How can I use this to grow?" That shift is strength. That choice is freedom. And you have that choice always. Now, Epictetus, once a slave, later a teacher of emperors, man is disturbed not by things, but by the view he takes of them. Imagine 2 people standing in the rain. One curses the clouds, the other smiles and feels alive. Same rain, different reality. Epictetus is teaching us that our emotions are not facts. They are filters, colored by belief, memory, and expectation. You might think, I'm hurt because this happened. But maybe you're hurt because of what you told yourself that happening meant. This quote asks you to become the observer of your stories, to question, what lens am I looking through right now? In that moment of reflection, you're no longer a prisoner of reaction, you become the author of meaning. Let's return to Seneca, this time with a reminder about anger. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Anger feels righteous. It feels sharp, hot, powerful. But how often does it leave you drained, ashamed, or alone? Seneca reminds us that the cost of anger is often greater than the event that triggered it. It's not about never feeling anger. It's about mastering what you do with it. Do you express it blindly, or do you breathe through it and respond with clarity? Anger is like fire. Uncontained, it burns. Controlled, it gives warmth and light. Emotional mastery is learning when to let go and when to let silence speak instead. Now, Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, man conquers the world by conquering himself. Zeno wasn't just talking about discipline. He was pointing to the foundation of all inner peace, self-mastery. You can influence the world, but unless you govern your own mind, your victories will be hollow. Think of the people who achieve success yet remain restless, who have everything yet feel nothing. Zeno reminds us, until you've calmed your own storm, you'll keep creating chaos. No matter how much you achieve, mastery of self doesn't mean perfection. It means awareness. It means showing up responsibly to your emotions, not as their servant, but as their guide. Cleanthes, poet and philosopher, adds this: "He who has the most is not he who has acquired much, but he who is content with little." We chase accumulation of things, of status, of applause. But Cleanthes is asking something radical. What if the real wealth is in the absence of craving? Not because you gave up, but because you've grown full. This quote is an invitation to stop chasing and start appreciating. A warm cup of tea, a quiet evening, a deep breath without anxiety. Sometimes the soul doesn't want more. It just wants enough, and the wisdom to notice it. And finally, Hierocles, lesser known but deeply wise. All humans share reason, and reason is divine. What does that mean? It means the line between me and you is thinner than we think. The stranger, the opponent, the difficult person, even they are animated by the same universal reason, the same spark. When we remember this, we begin to expand our circle of care, from self to family to tribe to all of humanity. This is emotional maturity. To recognize that beneath anger is usually pain, beneath conflict, misunderstanding, and beneath ego is a common desire to be seen, to be loved, to be understood. Hierocles reminds us, to feel deeply is good, but to feel with wisdom, that is divine. So what have these 7 voices reminded us? That suffering often begins in the mind, and peace begins the moment you notice that. That power isn't loud. Sometimes it's just the ability to pause before you speak. That your pain doesn't come from events, but from the meanings you attach to them. That anger might feel like fire, but if left unchecked, it will burn you more than anyone else. That conquering yourself is the quietest form of greatness. That simplicity is not poverty, it's abundance without dependence. And that beneath all our differences, there is a shared fire of reason, a quiet space within all of us that is divine. These are not ancient words, they are eternal practices. Every quote is a doorway. The real question is, will you walk through it? Will you carry one of these lines into your day? Will you pause tomorrow at a moment when emotion rises? And remember, you have a choice, because that pause might just change your day. And enough days like that will change your life. If even one of these voices found a home inside you. Subscribe to Quotes Junction, because here, we don't just chase knowledge, we return to wisdom. Let us know in the comments. Which quote felt like a mirror to you today? Sometimes one sentence can become your compass.